So I just started video editing the video I just recorded and realized that I chopped my entire forehead off the whole stinking video. So I felt like I needed to start the video off with this little clip showing you I do have a forehead. We're still learning the ins and outs of this recording stuff. You think I would have noticed, but I didn't until it was already recorded. So I hope you guys enjoy.
One, two. How many miles must it take?
What up, guys? It is officially summer. We're 2 days in, and I could not be happier. I love, love, love summertime. I love the sunshine. And living in Washington State, we get a lot of rain, a lot of cloudy days. So when the sun is here, I take full advantage. So I just kind of wanted to create this video today because I know a lot of you are super busy between jobs, children, trying to keep up your personal relationships with your spouse, your friends, your family. There's a lot going on. And, we hear pretty consistently from new clients or people that are reaching out to us, hey, I want to make those changes, but I don't even know where to start. I have no time in my day. And we hear that pretty often. They just feel like they want to make those healthy changes. You want to, lose body fat. You want to start eating better, but you just feel like you don't have the time. You lack the time. And so that's why I wanted to create this video, because we are going to talk about 7 effective ways to create time to make your life better, healthier, and finally get you to your goals. So, number 1 is your why. Why do you want that? Why do you want to lose body fat? Why do you want to start eating healthier? To really understand your why better enables you to prioritize that goal in your life. If you're just saying, hey, yeah, I want to lose a couple pounds, but you don't really dig deep into your why, then you're not going to feel that motivation to create that time. So, if your goal is, I just want to be healthier and exercise more. Why do you want to do that? Is there a specific pair of pants you want to fit into? Is there a vacation coming up that you're aiming for? Do you want to participate in more sports? Do you want to feel better playing with your kids? What is your why? That's first and foremost the most important thing in starting off this new journey. I want you to think about that. Create a list in your mind. Actually, you know what? I want you to write it down because I'm a visual person. I do better with lists, and maybe you do too. So grab a piece of paper and tell me what your goal is and your why. Why do you want to get there? Got to establish that first. Next, we have numero dos, identifying your top priorities. A lot of the times when we feel like we're really busy, we probably are, but there's also probably a good chunk of time that you're spending that isn't the most proactive or really benefiting your life. It's just kind of filling in the gaps. So by taking some time to prioritize and identify those things that are important in your life, then we can see where we can make changes. So picture your time as a jar, and you are going to fill your jar with rocks, pebbles, sand. Rocks are the biggest. They are going to take up the most room in your jar, and these things are top priority. This is like time with your family and friends. This is your overall health. This is how much sleep you're getting every single night. These rocks represent the things that are necessary to your survival, and there's just no way around it. Those things have to go in your jar first. Second, we're going to take pebbles. These are things that they add fun to your life and satisfaction, but they're not keeping you alive. They're not crucial for your survival like those big rocks are. And this is something like hobbies, working on like a passion project. If you're trying to be a competitive marathon runner or a competitive CrossFit athlete, those things that you find joy in, but they're not your sheer survival things. And then thirdly are the sand things. This fills in all those little gaps between the rocks and the pebbles in your jar. And this is things that just they're bonus activities. You find them enjoyable, but they're not really projecting you in any kind of way in your life. They're not projecting you towards your goals. And these things are like social media, the hours you spend scrolling on Facebook or Instagram, if you go out drinking with friends, if you love playing video games, whatever it is you love doing, TV, if you have a TV series you like to watch, that's fine, that's great. But if you're trying to make a change in your life and you're saying you don't have any time, look at the sand in your jar and then kind of think about how you can reduce that sand, because that sand's not necessary and it's taking up time. Number 3, start keeping a time diary. By tracking your days for, like 2 weeks, then you can see how your schedule's reflecting the activities that you're trying to prioritize in your life and how you're making them fit, and then you can start making those changes. Just like we ask our clients to start a food log before they sign up with us so we can see what their intake is like currently, same thing with your time. Start writing down how you're spending your time every day and get really specific. If you ate lunch from, 11:30 to 12, write that down. Then what did you do in the 15 minutes following that? What did you do in the half an hour between when you woke up and you actually got in the shower? Be very detailed with this. Start writing down all of your times throughout the day. And then after you have like a week or 2 of that written down, then you can actually see, again, referring back to that jar, where are you filling up your time with sand? Things that don't take priority. We hear so many people saying, I just don't have the time, but yet then they found time to scroll through Instagram for a half an hour. And I know that sounds rude. I'm not trying to be rude. I love Instagram too, but if you're really trying to make those big changes in your life, you can stay off the gram for a little bit. So by keeping a time diary, it just allows you to take a big picture look at your weeks as a whole and see where you can start making those changes. Until you can actually see that laid out in front of you, it's really hard to see how exactly you're spending your time. Number 4, we are going to increase health and fitness activities 15 minutes at a time. This is my favorite tip. And the reason because a lot of you listening, I know it, I've heard it, I used to be this way. You feel like it has to be an all or nothing mindset, or you have an all or nothing mindset. You feel like if you can't replace all those bad habits all at once, if you can't completely shake up your schedule to start working out every single day like you wanted, then why even bother? And that is so far from the truth. It takes small changes to build up and add up to big progress and change over time. And if you guys can just start making small 15-minute swaps now, it's going to add up to big change in the long run. So now that you have, steps 2 and 3, so you have your priorities written down. You know what your top priorities, your medium priorities, and your low quality priorities, those sand priorities. Now that you have those pointed out and your time journal written down, now you can look through your time journal and see the times that you're spending on low quality priorities and just start swapping them out for high quality priorities in 15-minute increments. It doesn't even have to be all of that time. So if you, found that you were scrolling through Facebook for 25 minutes before work, okay, that's fine. But now we're going to swap out 15 of those minutes to get your buns outside and walk the loop around your house. If that's what your goal is. If your goal is to be more active, you're going to start making those changes. If your goal is to start eating healthier and yet you watched an hour of TV at night before you went to bed, that's fine. We're going to start small. We're going to reduce that TV watching to 45 minutes. And for 15 minutes, I want you to just do some food prep, whether that be pack your lunch for the next day, get your breakfast ready if you know that you have an early morning. It's just going to be small little increments that we're going to start making slowly but surely. Number 5, this is putting into place tools and systems that are going to make these changes easier. You're already busy, you're already crunched for time, so let's make it easy on you and put some things into place that you don't even have to think twice about. On my Instagram, or on our FlexFuel Instagram, recently I shared kind of a tip for myself that I've done on those really early mornings when I know that I'm trying to get to the 5 a.m. CrossFit class. I know in my mind that it's hard for me to get up. And so a little strategy I put into place is to go to bed in my workout clothes. So when my alarm goes off, all I have to do is roll out of bed, put my tennis shoes on, and head out the door. I don't even have to think about it. There's no time to talk myself out of it. And it's just a strategy I've started practicing that helps me get to those early mornings. Some other really easy things that you can start incorporating is to keep your gym bag close to your bed and have it packed. So if you know that you're going to the gym in the morning, you have to shower at the gym, pack your work clothes, pack your towel, pack all your toiletries in your bag so it's ready to go. Again, when your alarm goes off in the morning, you don't even have to think twice about it. Another thing, if you're someone that's trying to eat healthier, this is something we've talked about on, our Facebook Lives. If you're trying to eat healthier and you have temptation in your house that's constantly calling your name, get it out of there. There's no harm in, tossing it in the garbage. I'm sorry. We are human. We, can't just solely rely on motivation or self-will because Oreos are really freaking good. So if you want an Oreo, you're probably going to eat it. And if that's something that, is constantly throwing you off of your game plan, get rid of the Oreos. And if you say, well, I can't get rid of them because my boyfriend loves Oreos, well, too bad. Your boyfriend's going to support you now. He doesn't need Oreos either. So just start putting those things into place that's going to make these new habits easier for you, quicker for you, less time consuming on those days where you are extra busy. Number 6, this is pretty self-explanatory. Put it on your calendar. If you need to schedule the time to meal prep, if you want to get to the gym, put it on your calendar. I'm such a calendar person. I have a huge one on my desk. I have another one hanging up. I'm someone that has one of those little, purse calendars, and I write everything on it. And that's probably a little bit of my type A personality. I like lists. I like to cross things off. But it helps. It works. So if you want to get to the gym this week, first, establish how many times you want to go. 3 times? Great. When? That's my next question. When? I have clients that say that to me all the time. I want to get to the gym. I want to do this. Okay, great. What day? Let's commit to that. Let's write it on the calendar, and you're going, then you have that time established, that plan established, and just do it. Last but not least, review at the end of every week. So when Sunday comes around, Sunday fun day, I'm all for it, but at the end of Sunday night, when you're kind of unwinding from the weekend and getting prepared for your next week, I just want you to sit down and review your week. Where do you think that you could have spent your time more effectively? What did you do really well? What days or time frames did you fill too much of your time with those sand priorities, where you probably should have maybe put a little bit more time into those pebble priorities, those higher quality priorities? And see what you did really well. What worked for you that you can carry forward into this following week? By sitting down and looking and reviewing your week as a whole, you're able to see those mistakes, those things that you could have done better, and then use that for your following week. How are you going to do better? What are you going to do differently? And by doing that, you're just going to continuously create this momentum to be better and better. And then before you know it, you're going to be at your goal. You're going to be living the life that you intended, that you created, that is making you happy and healthy. Because each week you learned, you took your mistakes, used them as learning tools on what to do differently, and you set an intention for the week. So again, number 7, sit down, review your week, what you could have done differently, what you did really well, and then put that into plan for your following week. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope that you found these 7 tips helpful. Starting any kind of new health or nutrition journey, it can be really intimidating at first, especially because we are all very busy people. But it doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be scary. Those baby steps still get you moving in the right direction. And so I promise you, if you put these practices into play this week, I want you to sit down today and start doing these steps. Next week is going to be a killer week. You are going to make, big leaps and bounds towards your goals. It's fail-proof. It's just going to happen. And, if in the middle of the week you're finding that you need some extra help, message us. Comment down below and we will help you out. Like, we want to help you prioritize your time so you can start living the life that you want, that life that is intended for you, the life that you're creating. So, I hope you guys like this video. Please, please, please subscribe and give us a thumbs up and comment down below if you have any questions or if you have any suggestions on future videos that you would like to see.
How many hours must we wait through?